Today we present you a story that talks about love, family, and difficult choices. Monica and Roberto are a couple like many others, but one day they find themselves facing an unexpected crossroads. Discover this exciting story with us, subscribe to our channel and activate the bell so you don't miss all our next impactful stories. On a late summer evening, the golden light of sunset enveloped the streets of a small Italian town, bringing with it an almost unreal quiet. Monica, sitting on the sofa in her apartment, waited with nervousness and disappointment. She had just finished dinner alone, an experience that weighed on her more than usual that evening. She had hoped to spend the evening with Roberto and his friends, but once again, plans had changed at the last minute. Shortly after the door opened, it was Roberto. "Sorry for the delay, love. Unfortunately, my mother had no one to accompany her, and I had to go," he said. Monica knew she should have accepted the situation without too many complaints, but that evening, she felt the weight of all her frustrations. "Roberto, do you realize that we were supposed to go out with my friends tonight?" she asked, trying to keep her voice calm. Roberto sighed, trying to find the right words. He explained that his mother had needed him and that he couldn't leave her alone. Monica was a bundle of nerves. She couldn't stand being left aside by her husband anymore. She couldn't go on like this. She felt the situation had become unbearable. Roberto tried to keep calm, reminding her that her mother had no one to count on, but Monica was tired of feeling neglected. "But why do you have to do this?" Roberto asked, trying to remain calm. "You know that my mother has no one to count on, and then you know that she loves you." "Yes, of course, but he's got it in for me. First put on a good face and then—" Monica couldn't finish her sentence, interrupted by emotion. Roberto tried to reassure her. "No one's mad at you, Monica. You're the one who does everything to avoid them and then takes it personally." "Enough, Roberto. This is no longer possible. Your life is with me now, not with her," Monica declared firmly. Her words were like an ultimatum, a request to choose between two different but equally important loves. Roberto also knew that his life had changed, but his mother continued to be an important part of him. "She is my family too, and I can't turn my back on her," he replied with determination. Roberto, torn between his love for Monica and his bond with his family, tried to make her understand that she could not simply choose between two such important parts of her life. "That's enough," Monica said, concluding with a firmness that left no room for reply. "You have to make a choice, either me or her." Roberto remained silent, torn between his love for Monica and his bond with his family. "You can't ask me to make a choice like that. It's not fair." "And you, what would you do in Roberto's place? Would you choose love or family? And above all, is it right for a wife to make such a request? Write it in the comments. And if this story is moving you, don't hesitate to leave your like to support us and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next stories. The conversation ended in a heavy silence. Roberto felt an emptiness inside himself, an emptiness that no words could fill. The next morning, Roberto found himself at his mother's house. His mother, sensing her son's distress, asked him what was wrong. Roberto tried to hide the truth, but he knew he couldn't hide anything from his mother. He told her everything, explaining that Monica seemed to want to turn him against her, asking him to choose between them. His mother listened in silence, letting Roberto vent his thoughts. Then she lovingly explained to him that true love does not set conditions, but supports and understands. She told him that if he truly loved Monica, he had to defend their love, even if it meant making difficult choices. "Should I give up my family?" Roberto asked, incredulous. If she's that important to you, I, as a mother, with a smile on my face, say yes. Not because it's right or wrong, but because in love there are no rules, her mother said, her tone conveying unconditional love. You are my son, and I want to see you happy, even at the cost of suffering immensely. You must be happy. You owe it to yourself and to your life. His mother's words stayed with him as he walked to Monica's house. He felt the weight of the decision he had to make, but also the lightness of a new awareness. Arriving at the door, he took a deep breath and knocked. Monica opened the door with a surprised expression. Roberto, I didn't expect to see you so soon. I've thought a lot about what you asked me. You were right. My family is the past, and the future is us, you and me. Monica looked at him hopefully. Are you serious? Yes, I've decided not to see my mother anymore, Roberto said, trying to remain calm. Monica seemed finally satisfied. I'm glad you understood that. And I really couldn't stand your mother. After yet another demonstration of malice and selfishness, Roberto still had a few words to add. He explained firmly that he had understood what kind of person she was, that what she passed off as love was not. What you call love is not. True love is what my mother has for me, an unconditional love. Monica, incredulous and confused, tried to argue, but Roberto continued explaining that he couldn't stay with a person who had asked him to give up his family, people who had always protected him. You responded to their attentions with envy and negativity. My mother, on the other hand, would have preferred not to see me anymore, just to know I was happy. This is love. Roberto's words were like a blow to Monica's heart, and she tried to respond, but to no avail. She felt her world collapsing around her. Roberto, with a sense of relief, added, "Good luck, Monica." With those words, she walked out of the room with a sense of liberation, feeling that she had finally taken control of her life and made a choice that respected her true self. Despite the pain of separation, he knew that true happiness could not be born from conditions and ultimatums, but only from unconditional love. And so, Roberto and Monica's story teaches us that true love does not impose conditions, but supports and understands. Is it right to sacrifice family ties for love? Or does true love accept and respect all parts of our lives? And you? What do you think? Would you have made the same choice as Roberto? I'll wait for you in the comments.